What's up, everyone? The stock market is heating up big time, and the rest of this week is going to be pretty dang crazy. In this video, we're going to cover AMD earnings, which has been all over the place in the after hours. We're going to talk about why tomorrow will be such a crazy day in the stock market. We're going to go over some great plays for tomorrow and the rest of the week, some important things you need to know. And at the end of today's video, we have a $1.26 million trade you will not want to miss. But Tom, looking at the heat map today, it was kind of a mixed day. What's going on?
Yeah, very mixed across the board, and a lot of key stocks were down, which did end up making the SPY fall down a little bit. We ended up down 0.44% there, just under the 385 support that I actually talked about a lot yesterday. So this is a very interesting setup. I will be watching this for a potential bounce here and then move back to the downside. But this is going into a huge event tomorrow with Powell and the FOMC, guys. So the FOMC, they're going to be meeting and making their interest rate decision at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, Powell will be speaking at the press conference. And be ready for volatility pretty much from market open all the way up through the event. It might be a little less volatile, obviously, till the event happens. But Mike, once the decision comes out, we usually see a lot of crazy movement. And then once Powell starts speaking, sometimes it reverses that movement and then it just goes all over the place. So be ready, guys. It's going to be a huge event. I know the SPY was crazy today, up and down in a huge way if you count that pre-market movement. So it's going to be a big day, Mike.
Yep, so I want to go a little bit deeper for those who don't fully understand why tomorrow will be so crazy. The main thing you need to know is that inflation has been out of control over the past year, and the Federal Reserve has the job of calming inflation down because we cannot continue to operate as a leading economy with inflation at 9%. That is absolutely horrible. So basically what the Federal Reserve has been doing is increasing interest rates. And one of those interest rate hikes is happening tomorrow. The Federal Reserve is set to increase interest rates by 0.75%. In addition to that interest rate hike, we're also going to have the leader or the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, speaking about what he thinks is going on in the economy right now and going forward. Whenever you have someone as powerful and as important as Jerome Powell speaking, that can absolutely move the market in a gigantic way. Past events like these have been key points just throughout the market moving. Most of the time, these events have a positive effect on the market, but recently there have been some pretty big sell-offs with these events. No matter what, we do know it's going to make the market go crazy. Most of the time it's to the upside, but lately it's been to the downside.
Yeah, definitely. And it says in this article, Mike, that he is expected to sound somewhat hawkish in the briefing, obviously, because the Feds are trying to crush that inflation goal, like you said. And their goal is to get it somewhere down around like 2 to 2.5%. But obviously, they might start lowering or lessening their rate hikes if they do see inflation falling by a lot. But Mike, whenever I go look at the economic calendar here and I look at their interest rate decisions, you can see obviously they're really raising rates right now. And whenever you go look at inflation overall, it's obviously on the uptrend quite well, and it's not really falling off too much. We're actually still sitting right around 8.2, 8.3%, right where we've been over the past couple readings. So it's not like it's really dipping down like the Feds would like to see. Now, if we start seeing inflation go down towards 7% or something, then I think the Feds might start lessening their rate hikes. And then maybe, we might see a 50 basis point or 25 basis point hike, but they are expecting 75 basis points, Mike, and looks like there's an 87.5% chance on the CME watch tool.
Absolutely. So looking at the heat map from today, like you said earlier, it was a pretty boring / choppy day in the market overall. What really stood out to me is how we have some of these big name companies like Amazon and a couple other big tech stocks really leading the market down. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta struggled a little bit for some time, but it's not every day that you see companies like Amazon down 5.5%.
Yeah, you really don't. It's really kind of showing, I think, some of the fear creeping in. But I will say Amazon did report those terrible earnings last week, and they did recover up a lot. So with that move, it's kind of almost like a post earnings reaction, I'd say at this point, but almost like the same thing with Apple, to be honest. They had a huge move up with earnings too, and are kind of correcting down now. And we saw the same thing with the SPY. Honestly, SPY's chart looks very similar to Apple, as it usually does. But yeah, crazy day, Mike. A lot of downwards price action, and I hate to see that heading into this event. I think that a lot of traders are still very fearful, and I think a lot of people are still thinking that Powell will be hawkish. So it's going to be a big day, Mike, and I can't wait to see what happens. But we've been seeing some pretty big reports even tonight with AMD, and they're all over the place, actually going pretty high here.
Yeah, AMD's popping up. So tell us more. Why is the stock moving?
Yeah, Mike, they're actually moving because they missed. They actually reported financial results. And unfortunately, guys, it looks like they did miss on EPS and revenue ever so slightly. It does depend, though, on who you're looking at for some of these analyst expectations. On Thinkorswim, there was some corrections, but they're still saying that AMD missed here. Looking at some key points here, revenue of $5.6 billion increased 29% year over year, driven by their growth across their data center, gaming, and embedded segments. I will say, though, Mike, overall, the report was pretty negative. Like I said, it looks like here they reported a third quarter net income of $66 million. But last year, at this very time, they reported a net income of $923 million, Mike. For that to go from 923 down to 66 this year really shows, I think, how much we're starting to see a softening in the overall PC market. And that's pretty much what they said here. They said that they're seeing softening in the PC market, and they're seeing substantial inventory reduction actions across the PC supply chain. So that would mean a lot of people that supply these graphics cards are obviously kind of reducing their inventory. So pretty crazy, Mike. They did say, though, that they saw obviously that 29% year over year growth in sales because of their data center, embedded, and gaming products. But yeah, still pretty bad report, Mike. But I will say their stock's actually green, which is very surprising given the climate of this market. We've been seeing a lot of stocks like Amazon and others tank down on bad reports. So very interesting.
Bad news is good news, and good news is bad news. Another thing, Tom, and this is kind of off topic, but I'm looking at my news tab right now, and I could see for Airbnb, they just reported their biggest and most profitable quarter ever, and the stock's dropping. So good news is bad news.
Yeah, that's insane, Mike. I can't believe they're dropping on that news. There must be some crazy guidance, or I don't know. I can't wait to see what they talk about maybe at their conference later on too. But yeah, these are some big reports coming out, guys, and we're going to have even bigger ones. Well, maybe not bigger than AMD, but we're going to have some pretty big ones still coming out later in the week, like CVS tomorrow morning, along with Paramount, which is going to be interesting. Then we have Roku and Qualcomm tomorrow in after hours, along with Robinhood. Thursday, we have Royal Caribbean, PayPal, Coinbase, Square, or Block. WBD on Thursday too, Mike. I know you and Hunter like that one. Starbucks for Cornish and his pumpkin spice down there. So it's going to be a crazy week, even DraftKings Friday. So, but yeah, we're already seeing it, Mike, with AMD kind of going all over the place here.
You know it. So going into tomorrow, I'm really watching GLD. GLD, for those of you who don't know, follow gold prices, and this popped by around 1% today. A lot of times during FOMC events or anything to do with like interest rates or anything like that, any economic data, gold does tend to move in a good way. I would prefer gold to go to the upside. This would also likely happen if the dollar started to fall, but even if gold were to fall to the downside in a big way, that is not the end of the world, because you can short it or buy puts on it or do something in a bearish sense for it. But I am watching gold either way tomorrow. Typically volatility increases around these situations.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I will say, Mike, gold was pretty bullish today. Had a very big gap up with gold futures rising last night and this morning. And I really like the way it's setting up here. I will say it's not the best wedge play in the world. But if we do start seeing a pretty big breakout, I think gold can definitely move. Like you said, it definitely gets volatile. And what's funny, Mike, is I wanted to actually mention gold tonight, but I saw you had it first, so I had to give it to you. But so that just shows how much I like gold. But one of my favorites tonight is actually Win, which is up 6.2% today. It's rising up with a lot of these China stocks lately. I've seen Win and Penn Gaming both moving up off of recent lows. And I wanted to show you guys this longer term setup here. This is a really nice trend line. I feel like Win is still at a really good price point, under $70. I feel like picking this up maybe for maybe a swing for a few months or maybe even like a year might not be a bad play. I know Win is very respected in the casino world, and it's really nice to see this bounce up with these China stocks. So glad to see it, Mike, and I really like that trend line.
Sounds good. Another one I'm watching is TLT. Sorry, boring play, but TLT follows treasury rates and treasury yields, I guess you can say. Basically, it has to do with the longer duration bonds, 20-year plus. But anyways, this stock also tends to move in a big way on FOMC days. Basically, treasury yields have been out of control over the past year, and ideally, I would like to see TLT pop up for the rest of the week. But of course, tomorrow will kind of set TLT's destiny for the rest of the week. Like I said, I want to see it go up, but if it doesn't go up, it'll sell down in quite a dramatic way.
Yeah, it probably will. I mean, this has been going crazy over the past year, Mike. I mean, look at this daily chart. I know you said at the beginning it was a bit of a boring play, but I would almost disagree. Over the past few years, Mike, this stock has been insane. Look at this uptrend here from 116 all the way up to 180. That's quite the jump, especially percentage-wise. I'm sure that this actually outperformed a lot of stocks at the time, and now it's kind of outperforming a lot of stocks to the downside. But yeah, crazy, Mike. Hopefully it can start to move back up. I know it gets a lot of volatility, like you said, especially with these events. Before I get into my next play, I did want to mention DraftKings again, because this is back on the rise, Mike. I mentioned this in last night's video and the video before. So check out DraftKings, guys. It's still on the uptrend. It closed up 4.1%. It's not my play today, but figured I'd mention it because it's been doing very well. And just take advantage of some of these plays. You know, we go over these plays and we pick some of our favorites every day for a reason. You know, we feel like these stocks can really move. But my second play today, Mike, is actually SoFi. They ran up with earnings and then they actually tanked off. So I will be watching this one for a bit of a post-earnings move. If I start to see it move back up above 580, I'll start to watch it for some calls tomorrow, but be careful with it. It's extremely volatile. And like I said, it is a kind of like a post-earnings play.
Sounds great. I just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day, and when you subscribe, you'll see our videos more often. But Tom, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Tilray to the upside.
Yeah, Tilray had a really crazy move today. If they end up breaking back above $3.96 or right above $4, I will be watching them for calls tomorrow.
All right, with the next one, we have BABA, also to the upside.
BABA, yeah, I'm glad this stock, I know Tilray is only like $4 right now. I'm glad to see a higher priced one here, Mike. But yeah, let's go ahead and make BABA break above 67.50.
There we go. And then with the last one, we have MSFT to the downside.
Microsoft to the downside. What's going on here? But go ahead and make them break below 227. That's actually a really good support from today.
All right, so we're watching Microsoft for a potential day trade to the downside tomorrow, only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. And then we are watching BABA and TLRY for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. If you guys are looking for daily options alerts, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot did amazing today. It called out the Meta 95 strike calls at $280 each, and just a couple hours later it hit highs of $385 each. Our bot calls out daily options alerts every single day. You'll also get access to daily option swing trades, custom bots you won't find anywhere else, a private community, and you can chat with Tom and myself all day long. You can cancel at any time, and if you sign up now, we have an automatic discount that will be applied to save $41 off your first month. Our bot is awesome, and a lot of the software in our Discord you cannot find anywhere else. So definitely try it out. It's awesome for short-term trading. Again, it'll be that first link in the description in the comments down below. But Tom, it is now time for the $1.26 million trade for tomorrow. We are looking at ESPR. Basically, this stock is kind of whack. Okay, so right now it's trading for $8.30 each. It has a wild history. It has highs over like the past couple years around $80 a share, lows closer to $3 a share. It has been wild for this company. Basically today, some whale put around $1.26 million into the 10 strike call options that expire on March 17th of 2023. Now, this is a bullish play by itself, but the thing is that this stock is as volatile as can be. It's a pharmaceutical company, and these stocks literally are just so volatile and unpredictable and crazy, where this option can do very good, but it's very risky. So I saw it today. It really caught my interest, so I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy play, Mike. I mean, honestly, a crazy stock. It's down a lot over the past few years. I know some of these pharmaceutical companies can start to go crazy, but throw it on the radar for the next couple weeks. I think it can definitely be a pretty good play, Mike. And what I like about it is that the calls are all the way out for March. So that's pretty far. I mean, there is some time on them. He could be selling them, but I don't know, Mike. It's kind of like a coin flip with this one, but like you said, it's a crazy play. And what I like about it, Mike, it's only $8.28 on the stock. So you can actually play this one with shares if you didn't even want to play options.
True. Yeah, it's a very interesting play. High risk, high reward, and it's such a volatile stock. So either way, keep it on your radar for the next couple weeks or so. Tom, I am pumped for tomorrow, knowing that the volatility will be insane. We have some big earnings later in the week as well. Do you have any final thoughts or anything going into tomorrow?
Yeah, be ready, guys, especially around 2 p.m. Eastern time when that interest rate decision hits. Pretty much from that time on, you're going to see some crazy price action, probably even spilling over into tomorrow quite a bit. So watch for it, guys. It's going to be a crazy day. I know Big Daddy Powell's always out there making the market go crazy. So it's going to be big, Mike. I will say I am happy to see AMD moving up a little bit today. I think that's very relieving, especially when you look at that daily chart and you see how low it's been going here. I mean, if it would have fallen any lower, it would almost be like a bloodbath at that point.
Yeah. And then we also want to give a giant shout out to today's member of the day, Chicken Whim. Thank you for being a active member of the StockedUp community. I know you're still very new, so definitely keep up the activity. Thank you so much for the support. Tom and I appreciate you. Last but not least, again, if you guys are looking for daily options alerts, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot does an absolutely amazing job, and you won't regret signing up. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's have an amazing week.